Okay. So yeah, I'll probably just do the basic preps, I guess, or the annoying ones, I guess, so to speak. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and switch to this really quick. I actually gotta do login bullshit on Xbox. And of course it fucking turns off. Alright, whatever. Alright, I'll just wait like a minute, because I know the Xbox boot up just takes a while. I have essentially been trying to go through Retro Arch games. I'll probably go through Sonic Battle. I technically have saves already good to go on Sonic Advance 2 and 3. I don't know about the first game. I could probably try that one, I guess. I also gotta see if I can transfer them to the actual mobile device. The phone, anyway. Oh my god. Alright, I didn't fuck up too bad, so I'll take like just a little break. Alright. Alright. Ignore that. But yeah, I legit have to start playing for Xenoverse 2. Gonna clear out my mail in the meantime. Or at least try to. Oh yeah, I actually should mention, I actually got an age restriction of one of my past streams from like 2022. And I can tell exactly why, because I was cursing up a storm about some bullshit. Which I find to be pretty funny, to be honest. Alright, I gotta go use the bathroom, so I'll be back in a second. Okay. Okay. But yeah, there's not too much of interest going on. So let me just go ahead and close all this crap. Okay. To quote my Akiba's chip animation review, right, sure. Oh wait, how did it go? Oh look, it's quirky because it's Kadi who makes an appearance in the anime even though she was in the game. Right, sure. That kind of energy. It's kind of disappointing that even Akiba's Trip, the animation, has some pretty shitty fan service. Honest to God, I don't even think the developers actually played the game, considering that even in those games where the whole point is to strip and tear off your opponent's clothes, and that was not a misspeak, fights actually can go on quite a bit. There could have been this interesting tug of war, but it's just essentially the I win button. But I'll digress. I really fucking hated that animation. Or anime, whatever. It also came out in 2017, so there are a lot of people shilling Street Fighter 5, but that's another ordeal. But speaking of Elden Ring, I remember you telling me that you're actually interested in Night Rain. Is it actually on sale, and is it still worth the headache? Honestly, I think Night Rain should have actually taken cues from Monster Hunter by having an exhibition or exhibit or whatever the fuck. Because oh my god. I'm dead. What the fuck? Oh, that's not too bad. $30 isn't so bad. But wasn't the game, like, launched at full price or some shit? Honestly, I'd rather play Dragon Marked for Death. I think that's what it's called. It's essentially Inti Creates' version of Monster Hunter, except it plays like one of those 2D Mega Man-like games. Even From Software has to copy off the indie slop that is roguelites. And I find it kind of disgusting, personally. Also really makes me annoyed that even Double Dragon Gaiden is a roguelite, because it's like, I don't think the game really needed it to be, but I guess people just eat up anything that's an Earthbound clone or a roguelite, because apparently purposely shipping out abilities that would normally be a thing in most games is apparently good game design somehow. Like in Double Dragon Gaiden, one of the abilities you have to buy with the in-game money is the ability to use your super meter when you don't have it full, like in Streets of Rage 3 specifically. So I don't know why basic mechanics are locked behind random generated unlocks. I don't know if you even consider Mega Coin Squad to be a roguelite. I don't really consider it. I would say that the unlocks are more random, but that doesn't necessarily make it a roguelite. The levels do play out the same. Some characters do operate differently, but the upgrades just mainly come from like how many coins you can collect or some other shit and the weapons you get. But yeah, I haven't seen any interesting critiques of the Souls games of late, aside from the one that's oh my god, Cyberpunk 2077. Oh boy. We live in a society. I'll digress. I can only express initial shame and disappointment, but I won't judge. But I think I mentioned it in the last session, but that Bloodborne critique was actually fairly interesting. Some points are kind of weird, but I like how people mistook it for rage bait. I didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary. Isn't that what it's called in Cyberpunk? Is Night City? I really don't know much about it aside from the fact that it was made by the same people who made The Witcher, and that its development time and cycle caused one of the most legit crash outs from fans and companies alike. It's essentially the AAA version of No Man's Sky, I guess, and that might be a little bit excessive, but it's I can't really think of any other example. That and No Man's Sky are like some of the worst rewarding examples of gaming I've seen, honestly. Yeah, but so does it excuse what what predicaments it had to be in that state, honestly. As much as I really hate to say it, even with something like Dark Souls being the way that it launched back in 2011, it did not take years of patchwork to make it playable. Which I also find kind of odd, because people have mentioned that Dark Souls was a rushed production or something, which I thought people said that Dark Souls 2 was a rushed production. So I don't know who to trust anymore. And then right now it's Mind's Eye that's up there, just being in an even worse state. And then maybe in a couple of years later we'll say that Mind's Eye actually wasn't that bad of a game, actually. It just, people didn't understand the greatness that is the one game that tried to copy off Time Splitters. And I'm not even saying that as a fan or anything. Dark Lord Donald 1 actually brought up that exact point in his review, I believe. Or maybe Synthetic Man, it was one of the two. Those are like the two people mainly watch from my reviews. Is Jado and Synthetic Man. I'm honestly waiting for Jado to review Doom 3 or even Doom Eternal, because I know he's expressed on how he wasn't a fan of Eternal, but also like 2016. But one thing that will suck forever, though, is that much like with Roger Smith from The Big O to American Dad, whenever you want to look up Mind's Eye on YouTube, like let's say you look up Mind's Eye official soundtrack, instead of getting the Atari Jaguar version, you get like the lazy musical score from that game. Or even a more sloppy example is putting Mortal Kombat 1 and say instead of getting the original arcade game, you get the shitty what is it, third reboot, I think. It's just gross. Like legit. But yeah, I'll more than likely move on to something else after this. I don't feel like playing sloppy GTA right now, honestly. I just mainly wanted to get the annoying prep missions out of the way and then do them another time. God, please don't make me start ranting about Doom and Doom 2 again. I'm still really pissed off about how Night Dive actually did the right thing by making the multiplayer available on all levels, but not in Doom and Doom 2. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about it. I mean, it's good that they lifted that restriction, but they should also do it to Doom. Like, why should I play an outdated version of Doom according to the developers, just so I can play on all the levels of multiplayer? Hell, even the final level of the original Doom, of Episode 3, isn't like the most complex multiplayer level, and yet you can't even play in it, I think. I don't know, there's a lot of multiplayer levels that you just straight up cannot play at all. And I find it disgusting. And the weird thing that people I really think need to understand is that when John Carmack and friends did make the levels in Doom, they also kind of made multiplayer in mind. Hence why you have the cooperative and multiplayer spawns. It's like how developers make levels now where they have a separate campaign level and a multiplayer level or something. It's not like in Terminal Modern Warfare 2 where it takes assets from the campaign level, but they actually have the whole level from the campaign into a multiplayer level, kind of like what GoldenEye Perfect Dark did to a point. And hell, even Facility alone is just like, you know, surprisingly decently designed levels for multiplayer, and especially with Bunker with proximity mines, you can legit make have campfire nights, which is how much camping people do in those scenarios. Oh, no. Yes, you can change camera angles in both GTA 5 and online. Although, if you're playing the Director mode, the only characters you can go into first person with are the 3 protagonists and your online character. I mainly use it for swimming, though, but I suppose I can show it off for a while. The ability to go into first person was added with the PS4 and Xbox One release of the game. And it was a natural thing in Red Dead Redemption 2. It was not on the PS3 or Xbox 360 versions of the game. Which, honestly, more games should have that, to be honest. Like, the only games I can think of that kind of do that, aside from, like, obviously GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, is the good Hitman games and even Star Wars Battlefront 2, I believe. Oh yeah, remember when people were mad at Rockstar because they didn't release GTA 5 on PC initially? Even though the GTA 4 still remains one of the worst PC ports out of all of them. Kind of shocking, isn't it? I guess the wait was worth it though, like what, 2 years I think, or maybe 3. And then they just did another PC port with the so-called enhanced versions or whatever. Honestly, if you were to play GTA 5 in PC, I know this might sound kind of like a shitty workaround, but there is legit a trainer out there that does let you spawn into vehicles from the online, and it works in single player perfectly fine. Like, if you want to spend like $6 million on the laser, for example, if you don't feel like running to the military base and stealing it, you can just spawn it. I guess it technically did, but only on the PC, and it essentially just removed the multiplayer. It's literally what Bethesda did with its version of Doom 3 BFG Edition, except it doesn't have the multiplayer. And it's just called Doom 3, but uses the exact same UI as BFG Edition, just no multiplayer. Wow. But I wouldn't necessarily call it a bug fix, but it's just more along the lines of, why bother playing the online when you can just use a trainer to add in the vehicles that were added in the online, and you can just migrate it to the campaign, I guess, if that makes sense. There's also other cool features that you can use of it, but mainly just being able to use the vehicles from online in the single player is more than enough reason for me to say to just use that shit if you're playing the PC version. If you can even run it. And you're probably wondering, why the hell am I still playing this shit? Well, mainly to get the Kaio preps ready whenever I feel like making money, and whenever I play this with Yuval and one or two other people. So I get to deal with people, I guess, or at least the stuff I have now, so I guess it's not too bad. But I really should get around to actually trying to finish, quote-unquote, GTA 5. The actual story, at least. Yeah, that is true. I just like that the effort I put into it is for naught, if that's the word I'm looking for. Like, I'd definitely rather at least be doing this than playing something like Arc Raiders, though, honestly. Like, if I wanted to play, like, one of those games, I would just play this Gaia or even Earth Defense Force. Which, unfortunately, I did really terrible in that mission, because the vehicle summoner isn't exactly good for combat. It's more of a support unit. So I got my ass kicked. But even Earth Defense Force alone would be a better use of my time than Arc Raiders. And you can get griefed as it is in Red Dead Online, so I could just play that at least. But I don't know. I think there's only very few instances we have to be in public lobby to deal with bullshit, I think, but if Red Dead Redemption 2 had that option, I would try to juggle with it, I guess. I know it's not the most thrilling because I don't play like Call of Duty or even Gundam Battle Operations, I think it's called. You know, to have to play random people, but I don't know, I just don't get a high off of it. I don't know. It's not exactly my forte, I guess. Like, lots of people do like to play GTA, I guess, so I guess if I had to pick the one game, I guess, I would play this, I guess, from time to time. It definitely sucks to crossplay, though, but it's whatever. I'll think about it. If Time Splitters actually worked online, though, I would actually vouch for that more, to be honest. So I think you would have to use the party mode or whatever it is on there. I don't know how that would work, though. You'd have to, like, have a really good internet connection for that. And both users would need PlayStation Plus anyway. I personally settle for the I don't know if you have Gundam Versus or even the Max Boost game. Fuck. Yeah, this mission's kind of annoying. Especially if we don't take out the helicopter. Which I now have to do. I should be able to buy some time. Okay, I do too. Yeah, I do like that game. I just haven't played it in a while. I've been mainly playing Gundam Reborn. And I still gotta finish Warriors of Orochi 3 Ultimate. The game is very damn long, but it's definitely a decent game. Oh, what the fuck? I already have the sonar jammer? Or is it downstairs? I don't even know. Okay, yeah, it was down there. I just died. Okay. Maybe. I'm sure it'll be a better use of time in playing Arc Raiders, though. I don't know, it's like I don't want to hate on the game, but it's just like the fact that you have to play online is honestly a pretty big deal breaker. Like, even if it's one of those games where you just go to a random spawn point, try to salvage stuff, whatever. I don't know, it's the fact that there isn't always online thing with that game kind of kills it for me. Like, legit. Like, at that point, you just rather play an MMO by yourself. Or even RuneScape, of all things. Especially in the player-killing worlds, where you technically can get third-partied, quote-unquote, by other people, I guess. But mainly if it's a game like Black Ops 3, and yes, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, where you have a decent balance of modes to play, with or without people, I would say that's a success of a game. Which is why, content-wise, I consider Black Ops 3 to be my favorite out of the Call of Duty games of previous gen. You know, you have the campaign, you can play it in co-op, you have the zombies, you have to pay for like every other good zombies map. You have bots with multiplayer, and I think one of the DLC maps has vehicles, and it has up to 4-player split screen. You can't get any better than that, in my opinion. And yes, I know there's the other bullshit that Black Ops 3 comes with, and the ridiculous nonsense that it comes with, but... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, by the way, it also has Dead Ops Arcade 2, the mini-game from Black Ops 1, so that's a win. The only thing that sucks is you can't toggle off the power-up that makes the game in the first person. And essentially, Dead Ops Arcade is kind of like a modernized Smash TV. Which I guess kind of works since you're kind of playing in a similar manner. Twin-stick shooter and all that. And there's even, like, old arcade games in between rounds and shit. I think one of them is, like, Ivan Iron Man Stewart. I think it's his name. That truck game. Or some shit. The tracks are kind of designed like an RC program with that camera angle from that one game. So, it's good, clean fun. But even that game has its problems, which I definitely won't deny. But if you're paying money for a game that you can't even like enjoy by yourself, then what's the point of buying it personally? Or not even just that, you have to play with the people to get the most out of it, which is definitely why I don't care for stuff like Halo or even most Call of Duty games, because you have to play online with the people to even get the most out of it. I don't know, it sounds really dumb, but I don't know. Even as shitty as Disgaea 6 is, at least you can still get a good amount of replay value of it, even just being a single player game. But it definitely has its problems, but not the same type of problems a lot of games have today. Oh shit, I'm really sorry to hear that. May his soul rest in peace. Okay, let me get Retro Arch up and running. Excuse me. Rest in peace, Grundy. Hey, I'm just waiting for Retro Arch to boot up. Does kind of take a while, but not worth complaining about to the ends of the earth about it. Like, even if you have to pay for the game, or even if you have to pay online to pay for online on consoles, like, I feel that there could be a decent Gundam first-person shooter game that you can play both online and offline. Like, the fact that a lot of these games are made for online nowadays is just ridiculous. Even games that fail abysmally, like Concord, before we even got a chance to launch, or even games like Arc Raiders that you can pay, but you have to have a subscription on console, but there's no offline component. I don't get it. Or even worst case scenario, you have a game that you pay for, you can play it offline, but it has really shitty DRM. Like, you just cannot win. It's fucking gross. Yeah, that's fair, but I still would prefer having to pay for a game I can play whenever than to be bound to a free-to-play type of game, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to sound rude or anything, but it's just like... Even something like Brawlhalla is decent in with the deep combat that it has at times. Like, it's still a free-to-play game, so... And even the offline modes it certainly has nothing compared to Smash Brothers, and might have even less than that. I don't know, it's just disappointing, honestly. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find, like, some game I can play. Something that won't be, like, completely boring. Oh, yeah, it's fine. I'm sorry. Let's see. Damn. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something, and I'm kind of having a hard time with that. Oh yeah, I know a game I can play. I know exactly what I can play. I just remembered. I'll do Crash Nitro Kart. Let me just get the game going. Yeah, so the problem is that the algorithm is hardly my favorite sometimes, and it does kind of annoy me, but I don't want to be one of those people that complain about views and shit. It's not even worth it. Not saying that my opinion is correct and fuck you if you disagree, but it's, I tend to look at things a lot differently compared to most people. Alright, here we go. I think... Oh yeah, I gotta change the hotkey setting. Because this is one of those games where you have to use the Z button. I still much prefer Crash Team Racing, but this is a decent game, I guess. I'll definitely have lots to say whenever I get to actually get around to showing off the Dark Souls gameplay that I have recorded. And I haven't really been able to do much of that as of late since I've been also occupied in the real world. Might even start doing Dark Souls 2, but I don't want to start up something that I won't get to the other one at some point. Honestly, I'm not sure either. All I know was around the time when I was playing, when I did that Star Wars video. And I got people who are mad at me for that for some reason. Which I don't understand how people even defended that, but it's whatever. By complete chance, too, I believe that's how me and Yuval became connected, and then one random tweet of mine is how me and Darth Goldust became connected. I need more of those, but actual consistent numbers, I guess. Ah, fuck, I missed one of the letters. Yeah, it is a shitty remaster, and it'll always be forever. Unfortunately. And yet people defend it. Like, I'll defend Dead Rising 4, but I'm not gonna act like a fanboy about it. And I think people really, really need to understand that, too. Ah, fuck. I'll just load state. I'll try not to do that too much. Like, honestly, I would even go so far to say as Akiba's ship Hellbound and Debrief is a shitty remaster. And not just because it has an English dub, which I think is just, honestly, pretty low-level mind to complain about an English dub of any kind. Especially if it's not like, what is it? Got one, was it prison school, I think it's called? Or even Ghost Stories levels of bad, or whatever. Like, not all English subs are terrible as people make it out to be. But I don't even want to get into that. Oh yeah, that too. People give me shit for that. Oh, why do you... I'm going to be an asshole. I'm actually going to pull up the comment, because I'm going to be really petty about this. I'm going to be so fucking petty about this, too. And mind you, I don't even like Dead Rising 1. I don't even like Dead Rising 1. see. I can even talk about fourth snake and shit, but I kind of don't want to. I kind of made my point clear on that on the Discord. Here we go. This is what one of the people in the comments said. So you don't want a remake of a game you admit to dislike. I wonder why someone like that would disable the rating system on a video. First of all, there's no option to disable ratings on YouTube. It just hides it or whatever. You can still see it on your video list. So it's not that I disable likes or whatever. People need to understand that it doesn't disable it. It just makes it hidden. Because likes and dislikes don't prove shit on YouTube, especially in today's age. Like, there are actually a fair amount of dislikes on that Bloodborne critique, and honestly, I wouldn't say there's really any major problems with it, aside from, like, maybe one or two, maybe even 3 points of the entire video that the dude talked about. But I would like to think that he made his points pretty well coherent, and it made sense. So, it's, people really fucking stupid sometimes. Hell, even I'm stupid, but, you know, at least I try to own up to it. Or not act stupid. It's like that one quote from Vice City. Lance, don't screw up. Anytime I screw up, you can lay it on me. You moron! What were you thinking? I tend to live by that because, well, don't do stupid shit and, well, you won't get called out for it. I don't know. But even going back to the entertaining bits of Wings, I guess, I think I mentioned this on Discord where he was like, what was it? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I want to sound like I'm defending Wings, but it's like, he can play whatever. Like, even if you were to just play something like Final Fantasy Tactics or Diablo or whatever, the problem is that he makes all of his gameplays boring as hell, and that's why people don't like him, partly due to that. You know, and if he plays anything outside his comfort zone, if he doesn't get money for it, or he's not continuously paid in money, he basically drops it, which is fucking stupid. Like, no one is pointing at his fucking head and saying he has to play Arc Raiders. Hell, I wouldn't even want to fucking play it. Who's the dipshit asking him to play Arc Raiders? He clearly doesn't want to play it, so whatever. It's not going to be a point of contention. But what is a point of contention is that someone gives him a big sum of money to play Helldivers 2 and acts like a fucking baby about it. Like, Jesus, dude, you get paid like $100 or so to play a game with one of your whales and shit, and you act like an asshole? Yeah, no wonder why people don't like you, dude. Yeah, Wendy's Raiders, exactly. But the other points of contention, I guess, if you want to call him that, is that he gets on someone for incorrectly saying Nimrod, but yet he'll literally use literally in every other sentence. Like, you can like or hate him for that. I just find it funny, and that's about it. Nothing really worth canceling him over, I guess. It's just like, wow, what a dummy. Yeah, that too. I don't know, things like that where he just says dumb shit, I don't think it's worth canceling him over, but the fact that he does treat his fan base like shit, and he'll ban people for the dumbest shit ever, that is why people don't like him. There was one clip of him playing Dark Souls, though, and he was like, I'm the Rocky Balboa of Dark Souls. If you come at me, you better be the best equipped motherfucker. He ends up getting invaded, he gets killed, he ends up quitting. That shit was so fucking funny. This was during the Shawn Franklin era, of course. And he also claims he's like the greatest of all the games he plays, and yet he even lied about being a top-ranked player in Mortal Kombat Deception when he couldn't even play Mortal Kombat 1 properly. It's so stupid. Like, why does he have to lie about that? Like, genuinely. It's like, okay, you're not... Mortal Kombat isn't your forte, fine. Do you have to lie about being all that hot shit in Mortal Kombat Deception? I don't know. That does kind of bother me, to be honest. Like, even I don't make such stupid claims about me and Dark Souls and shit. I just say, oh, I know some things. I don't claim to know more about stuff like Lobos or even Zully the Witch or whatever. And those people, they play those games so much, they might as well be sciencey just how much information they dissect out of those fucking games. But I'll digress. I definitely know Bloodborne at least, though, because I haven't really, like, played it. Okay, I technically did get the platinum and shit, but I haven't really found myself playing it that much, even with the Chalice Sun just being, like, the only good thing about it, because it's just, like, no real reason to keep playing it beyond that point. You basically have to leave the Moon Presence alive if you want to not be forced into New Game Plus, which basically means going for that one secret ending, I guess. Anyway, if you're wondering what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get the 3 letters of C, N, and K, and you have to come in first place. I'm doing horribly with that. Not to mention that Crash Nitro Kart has a supporter that you can use to essentially fill up your power-up meter, I guess, if you will. I'm going to definitely focus on other races after this, though. I realize this isn't exactly the greatest form of entertainment as I talk about lolcows and other shit, I guess. And yes, that tornado is essentially the blue shell of Mario Kart, except I'm pretty sure you can use the shield to block it, I'm pretty sure. There actually is a shield that does protect you from attacks, unlike in Mario Kart. What a shock. I hope the audio's okay, by the way. I did make sure to lower it to -19. Like a certain virus that may or may not be rising right now. Like hardcore uprising. Although it looks like it says Corp. I'm doing really fucking terrible getting that one damned letter. Like, Jesus. It's up there, but you have to make a jump from prior. I might use save states, but I don't want to be stupid about it. I want to be like low tier gut. It has to rewind every time he gets hit and punch out. This shit was so stupid. Like, I could even simulate that, honestly. I could, because it's so easy to replicate. Oh, you mean that PS2 exclusive made by Naughty Dog and it had help from Hugo Martin? How dare you? It's like, fuck up again. Wow. I fucking suck at this, Jesus. Honestly, it being exclusive doesn't really hamper it, but what does is that there's no 4-player split screen. You only get 2. That kind of hurts a lot more, I think, because it's like, the game is really good, but there is that game-breaking bug if you're not playing the greatest hits version. So yeah, unless you bought the greatest hits version, which you technically can subvert this today's emulation by downloading the was it version 2 or some shit, your save data is going to get corrupted and you're basically fucked. So next time you see people complaining about games never not being, how do you explain this? If the next time you see someone complain about games and patches, just think of how PS2 games did shit. Even though technically everything was on the disc, if there was a bug on that disc, you were fucked. There was no way to patch it. And this is also especially true with Jack 2, with the stadium bug. And I had that happen to me, and it was very fucking annoying. It is a legitimate game-breaking bug that can prevent you from actually beating the game. And that happens if you attempt to change the stadium course at any point before you're forced to go to the stadium to do a story mission. I do not know if this was fixed in the PS3 remaster, which people claim is a buggy fucking mess, which honestly I don't see it. Unless there's some super specific detail that I'm missing, I really wouldn't know. The closest thing I think I've seen something like that is Ratchet and Clank, the original. And probably the only good one in my honest opinion. I don't know, it might seem kind of weird to say, but I can't help but feel that way. The portraits in when you're in the shop menu was kind of in a shitty resolution, but I wouldn't say it's game breaking. It definitely is jarring, but not like anything game breaking. So yeah, gaming was a lot better back then because of the games actually having good quality, but they're also a lot worse at times, especially when games that had bugs and shit, and if there wasn't like a recall or whatever, you were basically fucked. Or that they had to sell like another version of the game or some shit. And I probably just lost the race, so I'm fucked. Good God. Unfucking believable. All the effort and I still lost the damn race, of course.
Wrong way.
Alright, whatever. I'll just save them. I'll go for the other letters, I guess. I don't want to save scum this shit. I want to try to do it legit, quote unquote.
No peeking yet.
But speaking of exclusive, apparently the GameCube version has this feature that you can use where you can link up the Game Boy Advance version of this game. And you can essentially unlock most of the unlocks if you have a peripheral that is probably hard as balls to come by nowadays. And also having a copy of a port of a game that's probably not as good as the main version. But remember guys, exclusives are going to be the wave of the Dota by 2026. And we're how many days into 2026, and there's probably an exclusive still being made somewhere today? What a shock. So remind me, what system was God Hand released for? If it's such a perfect game. Don't you dare disrespect Clancy Brown in my presence. Speaking of disrespect, I'm probably fucked now because I don't have... Damn it! fucking screwed up on that. That letter's gonna be so annoying to get, but I'm going to get it, damn it. I will get that letter. Fuck. Oh my god. I feel like crying like wings, honestly. I can't take this no more. I literally cannot. Just get that one stupid letter, which you technically don't need to, but if you want to get the smaller version of Velo, you have to.
Try the other way.
There we go. Okay, as long as I maintain a good lead and I have full Wumpa, I should be able to make up for lost time. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, I much prefer Crash Team Racing over Mario Kart 64. Maybe Diddy Kong Racing if you don't factor in the obnoxious unlock system. Because that game is kind of annoying to get stuff in, honestly. Crash Team Racing, I feel, is a lot more streamlined if we're going to be comparing those types of games, I guess. There we go. But yeah, having this buddy system definitely does kind of break the flow of the game, I'm not gonna lie. I think it builds up passively, but it's just like... you can essentially get a free burst of power-ups. That's kind of disgusting, personally. Oh my god, I just lost again. Oh my god. I really do want to cry, honestly. I guess I'll just like have to hang back, save up the Aku Aku mask, and then just like get that C letter last, and then just hope to God I actually do a good job, I guess. I don't see any other way of doing this. Or fuck it, even this fucking burst of speed, I guess. But yeah, you know how Wings actually talks about shit when he's not playing a game? Maybe if he was actually talkative while he plays a game, he might actually bring in people who just might want to donate money to him as they fuck up the most basic of shit. Good job. Personally, one of my favorite videos of Breaking Banquet was when he talked about how he lost his job at his old place. I don't know, that shit was just so funny to me. Like, that video alone is worth more entertaining than any time that he tries to act all high and mighty in Elden Ring or whatever Souls game he's playing at that time. I don't know. He even pulled an Ice Poseidon to do a Just Chatting segment. Like, he clearly said he hates playing video games. So, why not just turn into a Just Chatting thing? But for YouTube, I guess. I don't know. But one thing I will definitely be kind of like, Wings, what the fuck, is that I don't like to pay full price for games. And he fucking bought Call of Duty and Battlefield at launch. Stop. That's just fucking stupid, honestly. Like, what are you doing, Wings? Just, what are you fucking doing? But yeah, you see how this fucking frenzy shit just, like, breaks the game? It's ridiculous. Fuck. Finally, Jesus. I finally did it after, like, I don't know, too long. Too long. But I did it. And now all the furry community is, like, coming into pants over this design of Coco. Good job. Nice O-face nitrous oxide. Alright, well that's enough token hunting. Let's just, I'm gonna go ahead and actually, like, make actual progress. Now, let's just focus on the racing. I'm gonna speed it up slightly though. Actually, wait, isn't there like a gate I can, like, go to, I believe? I'm gonna try to find that at least. Yeah, there's, that. Oh, here we go. Baron. What a witty name. Yeah, I'll speed up at this point at least. Alright, Meteor Gorge. Alright. Alright, here we go. Actually focus on, like, playing the actual game. So if there's any topics you want to throw at me, I'll do my best to answer them, I guess. And there's only one course in the game that actually kind of gives me trouble, but that's not like way later. Oh, I don't know if you saw the video I linked on Discord. I believe Darth Goldust actually showed me the video. It was some dude talking about how Mortal Kombat is actually dead or something. One of the points that he brought up just really made no sense to me because he was going on about the side modes of Mortal Kombat and he brought up Mortal Kombat in the footage. It's like, of all the side modes you would show, is the worst one. Legit. It mostly plays the same as Crash Team Racing, though there is a bit of a weight difference, and it actually does the thing that Mario Kart 8 did years later. They actually did remaster all the tracks in that Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled game, which is good, except the courses that have zero gravity had to be drastically changed. The thing is kind of shitty, because apparently the developers could not bother implementing zero gravity for the couple courses that have it. It mostly plays the same, but there are some power-up differences. And the only major addition is that team-up power, which essentially gives you unlimited power-ups for limited time, which is kind of ridiculous. And you're also a lot more lenient for in that regard, that if your teammate gets first place, you still get credit for winning, I think, which is kind of ridiculous. And there's no way to disable it for adventure mode, which... Speaking of, one of the things that really sucks about this game is that if you want to unlock everything, you basically have two choices. You either go through adventure mode twice, with clearing all the characters, or go through the time trial and meeting both Entropy and Velo's times. And unlike in Crash Team Racing, there is no cheat code to unlock Entropy. So yeah, fun. If you're also playing the PS2 or Xbox versions, you essentially have to go through a good chunk of adventure mode to get the rest of the cast. And also for some reason you have to do 50 consecutive boosts in adventure mode on both team sides, which is actually pretty damn annoying. Legit. Like, not even Crash Team Racing made you go through the game with all the characters to get everything in the game. I think you only had to get, I believe, gold relics, and then all the other stuff to get that 101% completion, and then you were done. Sure. I made the save state before, so... The roster is kind of shitty, unfortunately, but I could show it off very quick. The magics of modern technology, emulation. Okay. Now, I could technically find the values to have them... What the hell is his name? Entropy unlocked, but I don't feel like digging through the RetroArch sheets for that. So I'll just show off the roster very quick with what's there. Okay, so you essentially have 4 different factions, so it doesn't really mean much. You have Crash, Coco, Crunch, and Fake Crash. I believe to unlock Fake Crash, you have to do 50 consecutive boost drifts in adventure mode, which is nice. You have Nitrous Oxide, who was demoted from Big Final Bad into generic kart racer. You also have Zem, and the Emperor Velo 27th in his real form, which you have to either achieve 101% on both Team Bandicoot and Team Cortex. So you basically go for the adventure mode twice, or beat his times in the time trial, which essentially also involves beating Entropy's times as well. On the evil side, you got Dr. Neo Cortex, N-Gen, and Tiny Tiger, and of course also Entropy, which you have to beat all the course's times in the time trial mode. There is actually a... Okay, there's actually a lap time trial as well, but you have to do race time trial. You also have Team Race, which is what Adventure was based off on. Cup Tournament, which is just basically plays like Mario Kart. And Quick Race, I think, just lets you pick whatever course you want, I think. But let me go back to the select screen very quick. And you got Entrance, who I believe was a villain in the Game Boy Advance game Crash 2 Entranced. For some reason in this game he turns the other characters from prior Crash games into his little henchmen. So you got Polar, Dingodile, and Pura. I think I said that correctly. Now I believe with 40 characters you have to unlock by getting the gems in the adventure mode, if I remember correctly. Who, Wings? Entrance looks like Wings. Well, he does have an egg-shaped head, so I guess it's not far from the truth. Well, at least Entrance is actually in good shape, even if he has prosthetic arms. But I'll digress. And And I think with Poro, you have to get the 50 consecutive boosts with the other team, I believe. But if you're playing the GameCube version and you link up with the Game Boy Advance version of the game, you can actually unlock most of the content no problem. Which, if you're doing this on an emulator, you can just use Dolphin and MGBA for that. It's not too hard, though I can imagine finding the setting to be a little annoying. It's not that many courses, unfortunately. You mainly have the 3 courses from the Adventure Mode and then Velo Citadel. That's about it. Thundershock is the one that's the most annoying, though. And it's not even like the final level, which is fun. You have the 3 cups, which actually can pick hard mode from the gut, though. I don't know if you actually unlock anything from that. I don't think you do. There's actually an arena editor, which is kind of interesting, but I don't know how the hell that works. And you can't play it alone, unfortunately. Yeah, I think there's 5 of them. Okay. Oh yeah, you can also view the cutscene. Not cutscenes, fuck. Yeah, you can view the cutscenes from your Adventure Mode at least, so that's nice. It's not one of those games. I hope that answered your question at least. So the roster is kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie. And there's no real shortcut to getting them, unlike in Crash Team Racing. Though at least to give credit, there is no elusive character that can only be unlocked by cheat code. What you see is basically what you get. So there's that. Fuck. Yes, but at least there's not DLC, but you will have to play the game quite a bit just to fully complete it, so... It's one of those pick your poison ordeals. Pay money to unlock it, or tediously go for the game twice to get everything. And then the time trial mode just to get 1 extra character. I have no shame in saying that I used the cheat code to unlock Entropy in Crash Team Racing, because that shit was not worth it. And yes, I know that's how you also unlock one of the other characters in Diddy Kong Racing, but at least to give the game some merit, he is actually one of the best characters in the game. The clock dude in Diddy Kong Racing is the best character in the game. So I think beating the time trial mode and getting essentially one of the best characters in the roster kind of shows that you've earned your right to be overpowered, I guess. So I guess there is some merit in that. But I don't even think Entropy is like close to being that sort of thing. And maybe the closest to that, as I fucking get zapped into the balls of red hell, is interestingly enough the Japanese and PAL version of Crash Team Racing, where Penta Penguin is ridiculously overpowered, which can only be accessed by a cheat code. So yeah, good job. Also, not to mention that even in this game, you don't even get like a scrapbook of anything once you like fully beat the game, which I do find to be kind of disappointing. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad game. It just kind of is a bit of a downgrade in some aspects, but it still very much plays more or less the same, but it definitely doesn't have as much meat, I guess, compared to the others. I don't know. I mean, it's not like Speed to Speed 2, I guess. You're still getting the same type of game, it's just there's some things in it that are better and some things that are worse, I guess. I don't know.
You win after.
Like, one thing I definitely will say that the hub world is definitely a major downgrade, especially since all the areas are locked behind a loading screen, and they're not even connected in a way, so you're going to be sitting through a lot more loading screens, if anything. There's actually even less shacks overall, because in Crash Team Racing there were 16 courses, but in here you only get 12. You can't even play as the bosses, by the way. That's another thing that really sucks about this game. You can't play as any of the bosses, which is something that the Game Boy Advance version actually lets you do, but it's the gameplay in there isn't exactly any better. But it is what it is. So that's another thing. There actually are exclusive bosses that you can challenge in this game, but you can't even use them. And the only one that kind of counts is maybe Velo, but that's in his true form. Which, spoilers, yes, the Velo that you see in the cutscenes is essentially a fake, if you will, not the real Velo. What a twist! Oh yeah, this is the F-Zero zero gravity sections I was talking about. I believe in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, this course had to be completely redesigned because developers could not be bothered to make zero gravity experience. It is definitely no F-Zero, but it definitely does make the courses a lot more interesting. So there's that. It's kind of like Ruse Tube, except it's in, like, you know, omnidirectional, I guess. If that's the word I'm looking for. I am certain that this course was neutered ridiculously in the HC remaster of Crash Team Racing. That's also another thing, too, I definitely want to complain about, if I'm going to be honest. There's no cups for the courses that were added into from the Crash Nitro Kart section, which really makes no sense to me. You have the cups from Crash Team Racing, but not the ones that were in Crash Nitro Kart. What the hell? And for whatever reason, they don't even have, like, the boss courses, which oh, fuck. This is the last lap. Fuck. You don't even get the boss cups for a reason. They are still locked to adventure mode, and you can't even make your own, I think, which I find to be really lazy. It really should not be that hard to be able to make your own cups, at least. Which I'm pretty sure one of the Mario Karts actually lets you do. Fuck. There we go. I did it. Now I get to deal with the second boss's bullshit. It's fucking Jabberjaw, what the fuck? One thing I will say that I think this game does really well is that not only are there the cutscene view, but the character interactions between hero and villain is actually pretty good. Or, sorry, Team Bandicoot and Team Cortex, which for some reason the GBA version they changed to Team Evil, which I think is ludicrous. But the character interactions between Team Cortex and Velo's henchmen are actually pretty good. So even if they go through the whole game twice, I would say that at the very least the cutscenes are different depending on what character you're playing as, so it's slightly better in that regard. Now I'm trying to find the boss, and there's no fucking radar for some reason. I really don't know why. There's no fucking radar in the hub when even Crash Team Racing had that. What the fuck? There's also no adventure mode from Crash Nitro Kart, which is really, really annoying in the AC Remaster. That definitely should have been added in as a post-launch update or something. Alright, so now we get to race against Charlie from Street Fighter Zero, obviously. I believe this dude uses a form of power-up that's different to the rest of the cast. It's kind of like a Super Mario Kart where the characters have their own power-ups, so they kind of act the same as the other ones. Yes, they are. They are not in this game. You get absolutely no trophy girls whatsoever. They all went to sleep with Pinstripe, apparently. No trophy girls whatsoever in this game. 0 out of 10. The furry community has a boss game because you don't get Mega Man and the other characters that are in this game. Which, I guess to play devil's advocate, you technically are in a different world or some shit. So you're technically not in the world that's in Crash Team Racing, but they still could have came up with some sort of alien-like trophy girl or some shit. Like, they could have came up with something at the very least. But yeah, no trophy girls from Crash Team Racing, unfortunately. And not even like a supplementary trophy girl in this game. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering why I brought up Pinstripe, that is because apparently the excuse that Naughty Dog came up with as to why they didn't bring back Crash's girlfriend is because I guess parents complained. Which goes to show even back then there were always people complaining about something. But whatever. And Coco essentially took the place of Tawna, which is Crash's girlfriend. Though I really, honest to God, hate how they turned her into, I guess what you call a girl boss in Crash 4. That game really tried way too hard to be like the original Crash Bandicoot, and it's painfully obvious. Like, I'm not saying that the original Crash is bad. It is the most annoying to go through, even if you're playing the remaster. But the reason why people like Crash 2 and 3 so much is that they didn't completely throw the difficulty in your face so unfairly like the first game did. Not to say the second game had like that bullshit, but it was nowhere near as annoying. There were a couple of cases of bullshit, but even with Crash 3 being as easy as it is, people like the game for reasons that don't involve being ridiculously hard for the sake of it. I'm actually pulling a DSP on there, and I'm being kind of serious. And then Leaving the Traveler's Tales essentially pull what a lot of game developers do and just be fucking lazy about it, and just throwing nitro crates everywhere. It's like the one meme of Toy Story where you just have, with Woody and Buzz, nitro everywhere. It's basically the level design in a nutshell with Crash, the Wrath of Cortex. But speaking of Wrath of Cortex, I really don't like how they kind of made Crunch to like a goody two shoes character after the one game that he was actually a bad guy. Essentially, the whole point of Wrath of Cortex is that Cortex does create like his another Bandicoot that's like, you know, actually evil and more muscle and shit, and using the power of the masks to get the locale team racing. Oh my god. You essentially have the elemental masks, and even one of them, believe it or not, is actually voiced by the dude that was in Full Metal Jacket. I believe the drill sergeant. I forget the dude's name, but he actually did voice one of the masks, and you can definitely tell from the voice. So that alone makes the game worth it, honestly. But from what I remember, people did not like Wrath of Cortex because, yeah, that's his name. He voices one of the elemental masks. I'll look up to see which one he voiced, because I do not remember from the top of my head. I have not played Wrath of Cortex in some time, but I know people did not like that game because it was too similar to Crash 3. Which I find really retarded, considering that people will legit eat up anything that plays a lot like the game that they played from like last year or some shit. Unless it's a sports game. People get mad that you're essentially buying the same game twice or whatever. Okay, he voices one of the masks named Wawa. I'll see if I can like find a cutscene of the character. Here we go. I actually found it rather easily. Oh, never mind. It's just a fucking boss fight. Okay. I'll just actually go on YouTube and not Google. But yeah, imagine that. People don't like Wrath of Cortex because it's too similar to Crash 3. Like, what the fuck? Oh, here we go. It's actually from 3 years ago. I don't know if this is like the best quality though, but... Oh, here we go. This is an even better demonstration. But it has all of them. But fuck it, I'll just post on Discord. Oh yeah, and apparently Mark Hamill also voiced Pyro, one of the masks in Wrath of Cortex. Surprisingly decent number of celebrity cameos, honestly. Let's see, you have Biff Tannen, Sergeant Herman, Waka Warner, and the Joker. Legit celebrity cameos. And yet they just... And people don't like the game because it's too similar to Crash 3. What the actual fuck? Oh yeah, that makes sense. I like to think that R. Lee Ermey was in L.A. Noire as the drill sergeant in one of the flashbacks, but I don't think he was. I think it was another person that did the role. Okay, speaking of role, I'm gonna actually boot up another game. Question of which one I should play is anybody's guess, but I think I know what game I can play actually. I know exactly what game to play. Because I actually have to show you this, actually. Let's see. Just gonna look something up really quick. Garlet Donk. I almost said gank. Wow. Okay, I could probably do that. Let me just boot this one up first. I have to play the correct version of this game, by the way, for obvious reasons. Wasn't there like an actual Gauntlet game that was released on PS4 and Xbox One and stuff? Shit. Alright, time to play Double Dragon Gaiden featuring Final Fight 1. What is localization? Yeah, it really is Double Dragon Gaiden. Alright, I guess to be fair, I'll like show off the opening, I guess. Because I know that this... Oh, wait, this game is only one player? Fuck, I thought it was two. I think it's a two-player ROM hack, though. I think there might be a ROM hack of this, I think. I'll have to check on ROM hacking. Because I think everyone thought that died, and it really didn't. Legit. Okay. But yeah, unfortunately this game has only one player. What a shame. But it's essentially a beat-em-up on the NES that features chibi-sized characters from a beloved Capcom product. And if you're wondering why I'm playing the Japanese version, it's very simple. What is localization, Alex? I'll just leave it at that. By the way, that Dark Gauntlet Legacy, wasn't that on the, is it the Nintendo 64 game, or is it on the GameCube? I kind of forget, to be honest. Fuck. But yeah, unlike Double Dragon Gaiden, at least Mighty Final Fight art style is actually consistent. Even besides that, the game is actually pretty good. Okay, I'll see if I have the ROM of that. At least. Fuck, I still got hit. Like, you actually look at the box art of Mighty Final Fight and it's actually, like, consistent. Which, I actually like the Double Dragon Gaiden artwork, it's just that the in-game sprites are totally not consistent to the style at all. Which is kind of disappointing. What the fuck? Why am I playing Donkey Kong now? I thought I was playing Mighty Final Fight. There we go. I'm kind of surprised Capcom didn't put this in their collections, honestly. Unless because it's Nintendo that's causing them to not do it, but I don't know. Fuck. It's also not a roguelike at all, so the only thing that's kind of stopping replay by is the fact you have an experience bar. Oh no. Hey look, it's the boss of the first game. Fuck. But yeah, I'll get to Gauntlet in a minute. Why'd you do that? God hates you. And your children. I apparently have to answer a prompt. I don't know. But yeah, I could probably boot up the GameCube version. I really wish I was able to play the... I don't think RetroArch has like an Xbox or PS2 core yet. Wow, what a racist character type. You have the dude from Final Fight bouncing on your head like a monkey. What the fuck? He's playing bongos like a monkey. What the fuck? Can't even speak. It's also jumping around like one too. What the fuck? You're not getting birthday wishes from me, fucker. I just want to get up to poison at least. Obviously, you have to keep those types of people in mind. Oh, there is poison. Time to get toxic. I'm gonna show you a good time, baby. Now get over here. Fuck. She didn't like that, so she kicked me in the face. Well, fuck you. I punch you in the face. Man, it's a very simple beat 'em up for the NES, but at least this game's art style is more consistent, and you have the original Final Fight if you don't like the chibi art style for whatever reason. It's a mostly harmless spin-off, I guess, if you want to call it that. Alright, enough of the bullshit. Fuck, I don't have it downloaded. What the fuck? You fucking kidding me, dude. Of course. River City Ransom is still better, though, in that regard, but it's, Mighty Final Fight's it's an okay game. Anyway, I guess I'll have to download the GameCube, buy a copy on eBay, and then convert the ISO into, convert the disc into an ISO, and it'll probably take like a couple months. Let's see. Here we go. Second episode of SpongeBob where Plankton's like, I never thought I'd get this far. Or in the case of Doom 3, so you made it this far. But I'll play something that makes up for it at least. Which I actually kind of wanted to play. Okay, I have enough space. Okay. Alright. I'll do a good game. An actual good third person game that puts Resident Evil 4 out of the park. Like legit. Alright. Let's do the best James Bond game, clearly. Even though it's not GoldenEye. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, I guess I'll just start from here. Just gotta make sure that the settings are on proper. Okay. Alright, here we go. Time to shoot some ass and chew candy. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, I fucking love this game. It is just as good, if not even better, than GoldenEye in some aspects. Maybe except for the multiplayer, unfortunately. I'm getting shot a lot, which is always nice. Fuck. Here we go. Fuck. Yeah, I fucked up on that moment. Oh well. Fuck. Oh, here we go. Drop charge. Yeah, it's probably something I missed, but I don't know. Fuck. I touched the fire. And yes, the fire actually hurts you. How'd you know? Fuck, I'm probably gonna die. Damn it. Wow, dude, you don't get checkpoints. This is bullshit. It's funny because Dark Souls technically does autosave like every step you take. It's just that whenever you die, you go back to the bonfire. What a shock. I think people kind of forget that part. Which actually, that's another thing. Bloodborne's lanterns essentially work exactly like Demon Souls' Archstones, if you think about it, for like 2 minutes. I'll go ahead and break this down. In Demon Souls, the Archstones were given to you whenever you beat a boss, which is something that Bloodborne also does. But since Demon Souls was the first of its kind, you don't get to level up at the bonfire or an Archstone. You have to go back and talk to the Maiden in Black, which you can't even level up until you beat the first boss. But in Bloodborne, you have to have visited the, what the hell is it, the Hunter's Dream, and you need to have a certain amount of insight, I think, to even access the bitch. So you need at least 2 visits to the fucking shrine, or not shrine, the place before you're even allowed to level up. Which, granted, isn't as annoying compared to, fucking Demon Souls, but, and the fact that people want to complain about Dark Souls 2 because you have to level up, you have to talk to Emerald Herald 4 times before you're allowed to level up, is quite honestly pretty damn disingenuous. Like, what do you think people are going to do when they play the game enough times and they just want to like get through it? Skip the dialogue. But yet in Bloodborne, you can't even level up from the get-go. Just what the fuck? But remember, Dark Souls 2 is the fucking problem. Would it be crazy to me to compare Dark Souls 2 to Review Tech USA? In some really weird, shitty aspect. Would it be crazy to me to compare that? Or some weird comparison that involves Dark Souls 2 and review tech. I don't know. I can't think right now. It seems like every game that's not Dark Souls that does something wrong gets criticized, but if it's Dark Souls 2, then it gets all the hate from all sides. Unless it's Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring, or even Bloodborne. Which I find really funny because I'm pretty sure all those games have their own fair share of problems. It's just that they're not as bad, but they are still problems. And apparently because I defend Dark Souls 2 to that degree, I am known as the Dark Souls 2 simp. Or I was given that nickname, which I find to be kind of retarded looking back at it. Last I checked, simps don't actually talk shit about their waifus. Or they wouldn't be disingenuous about it or whatever. Shit, I accidentally fast-forwarded the game. Fuck. Yeah, I'm doing fucking terrible. What the fuck? Wow. Anyway, while I'm dying a lot, I guess I can talk about the fact that the multiplayer sense tries to play like Power Stone, but in a really shitty way. It's like a shittier version of Power Stone, but with no Chaos Emeralds to power your characters up with, and unless you played the actual game, the controls aren't exactly the most intuitive. There's also only like 3 levels, and you have to play a good chunk of the cooperative mode. Mode is not easy, by the way, just to even get access to it, and there's no bots, because of course. Ah, rats. I'll try to have a gauntlet ready for next time, and hopefully not do as terrible as I am right now, like honestly. Like, literally. Alright, well that's enough of that, I guess. I'll probably switch over to the Xbox, actual Xbox now. Besides, I gotta get that, I gotta buy Gauntlet Dark Legacy on eBay, and then transfer or dump the ISO and then put it in here. What a fucking world I live in, holy shit. But hopefully you enjoyed my ramblings and terrible gameplay, at least. Oh, really? The Shadow will be very interested to hear that. Sorry, I just had to hold a line. Oh yeah, speaking of Dragon's Crown, I like how a point of contention for Dragon's Crown is that Vanillaware never really made games for PC. It's so dumb. Like, oh, It's so fucking stupid. Like, I cannot comprehend the concept of love. I mean, literature illiteracy. This video is just you saying you don't like Dead Rising. Maybe the game just isn't for you. Lol. I don't like the Dead Rising games because of the annoying mechanics of 2006, including the time limit, but I certainly don't see the value of the supposed remaster when it goes against everything its people liked in the original, yet people also swear that Demon Souls remaster is just as bad, but have no problem with Dead Rising digital remaster. Dead Rising 4 is to me, mindless fun. Even some of the criticism is valid, but most people don't like change, and Capcom's known to deal with their other magnum opus horror game, of course. It's so ridiculous. I will say that people who complain about the timer in Dead Rising 4 are kind of dumb. Because it's not even in the base game. And I'm pretty sure it's made as a thing for people who wanted that classic experience. Not for me, but good for those who like it, I guess. It's not even in the Capcom Heroes DLC, which is essentially just a slightly tweaked version of the campaign, but with somehow less options, but entertaining ones nonetheless. Alright, I will let you go before I continue ranting about such things. The escorting is also just as shitty too, but like I said, I don't want to derail this any further. Yes, thank you for the company and conversation. Highly appreciate it. Okay, let's see. I'll probably sort my DOS games, honestly. I have to start doing that. I have to put stuff on here anyway, so I probably might do that. Hooray. Okay. But yeah, I'll probably just check up on GTA real quick, and then I'll probably get off. It's getting late anyway. See, gotta move this here. Fuck. I'll open these two for now. There we go. Okay. But yeah, I'll just quickly check up on GTA Online on Xbox, and I'll wrap it up. So I'm going to go ahead and go on here really quick. Oh, God. Okay. Shit. Yeah, sounds like probably all shit, so I won't bother enabling it. do this, this one, and some other one. I also have to like organize my bookmarks as well. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'll probably get off now. I don't feel like talking much right now.